Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Karen Cozier-Phillips. C News is live at noon. Topping the news at this time, 2 people are discovered dead at a house in Tobago. Details are still coming in, but C News understands the body of a woman was discovered with several stab wounds at a house in Mariah. A man was also found dead at the house. They have been identified as Romelda King and her husband Hilton Gordon King. Police are said to be investigating whether the incident was a murder-suicide. And we'll have more details on this story in a subsequent newscast. The Law Association says it has received a letter from the Attorney General seeking its comments on amendments to the Summary Court and Indictable Offences Preliminary Inquiries Act. The amendments seek to address the 53 matters which were left unfinished by Marcia Ayres Caesar when she was promoted to a judge. More in this report.
To the letter dated July 20th sent to the Law Association, the bill seeks to expand the existing limited jurisdiction of the Director of Public Prosecutions to include instances where a presiding magistrate is unable to complete or continue a preliminary inquiry for any reason. According to the Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi, the bill also seeks to give power to another magistrate to hold a new preliminary inquiry or continue the preliminary inquiry in the interest of justice and with the consent of parties. CNews spoke with the Law Association President Douglas Mendes on this matter on Wednesday, and he said the body has to meet before making a comment.
The Law Association is currently considering the bill and will provide our comments to the Attorney General in due course.
He said this should be done before the middle of August. According to the AG, the bill does not need the support of the opposition to be passed if taken to the Parliament. However, opposition Senator and Attorney General Ramdeen believes legislative changes will not fix the problem.
If the Attorney General proceeds with this legislation, it will be subject to serious constitutional challenge in the courts. It is clear that the government does not know what ought to be done in this particular scenario. We still have not been told, or we don't know as a society, what is the truth about the 2 versions that have been put forward by the Chief Magistrate and the Chief Justice with respect to how we found ourselves here. And it is very premature to take the position that the government has taken now.
He said before a solution is looked at, government must find the problem.
If the facts that have been presented by the Chief Magistrate are true, if the facts that are set out in her affidavit are true, and she was forced to resign, she has presented in her affidavit itself the solution to the problem. Because if she was forced to resign and she was properly appointed as a High Court judge, why do we need a legislative solution? If her story is truthful, then it may well be that she could be appointed as a High Court judge and be given the time to go and complete the part-heard matters.
The opposition senator maintained that government should consider setting up a tribunal to look into this matter as set out in Section 137 of the Constitution. Rishi Harinanan, CNews.
Meanwhile, former Chief Magistrate Marcia Ayres Caesar will be heading to court tomorrow. Last week, Wednesday, she filed for legal action against the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, JLSC. Her attorney, Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, said she is seeking to have the court judicially review the move by the JLSC, headed by Chief Justice Ivor Archie, and the Office of the President for its decision to strip her of her position as a High Court judge, which she says is illegal. The matter has been assigned to Justice David Harris. To other news now, the Barataria electoral district has been declared vacant. Therefore, a by-election will be held soon. The declaration was done this morning during the San Juan Laventil Regional Corporation statutory meeting. The sitting councillor, Permel Bruno, died on Saturday, July 8th, and since then the seat was being held by the chairman of the corporation. Ian Wason was at that meeting and is on the phone to tell us more. Good afternoon, Ian. What can you tell us?
Good afternoon. In addition to the chairman, Anthony Roberts, declaring the seat vacant, a motion was passed to rename the Barataria Oval the Permel Bruno Oval. Of course, he spent a lot of his time there, and as well as there will be an upgrade to the gym at that oval. So apart from declaring the seat vacant, the oval will be renamed the Permel Bruno Oval.
Okay, thank you very much there, Ian Wason, out of the San Juan Laventil Regional Corporation. This is a CNews Live report at noon. Remember, you can keep up to date with all the latest news on our website at ctvtt.com, or you can check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at CNews Live. The Minister of Education, Anthony Garcia, says he has instructed all primary school supervisors to ensure all students are placed when the academic year reopens in September. This morning, the minister confirmed several parents are having problems getting their children registered for schools, especially along the east-west corridor. The minister said this matter is being addressed.
I have given instructions to our school supervisors to do everything possible to ensure that each child who is within the school age must have a school. It is one of the policies of this government that there should be access for all our children. The other point that you made with respect to the movement from primary school to secondary school, and that is done on the basis of the essay exam. We have found a place for every child in the secondary school system. However, because of the performance of some of the children who have done very badly, scoring less than 30%, we are offering them a chance to resit the examination in their previous primary schools.
And the Minister of Education says he is surprised people are still not aware of the criteria for the means test to get funding from the Government Assistance for Tertiary Expenses program. He spoke with CNews' Rishi Harinanan this morning and again explained what people can expect.
The minister said everybody who applies for GATE funding will be subjected to a means test. He said the funding is available to everyone, but it depends on the household income.
If a person's household income is below $10,000 a month, that person will receive 100% funding. If the household income is between $10,000 a month and less than $30,000 a month, that person will receive 75% funding. In other words, that person will only have to pay 25% of the tuition cost. And those persons whose household income is above $30,000 a month, they will be able to get 50% funding.
But what if a family has to take care of someone who may need extra care, for example, a child with a disability? Will they be subject to the same criteria? For 2017-2018, they will be. But the minister said this may change in 2018-2019 if it doesn't work well.
Initially, we are looking at the household income. For the academic year 2018 to 2019, we are going to do an assessment of the means testing system, and if there are any changes to be made, we will make those changes.
The minister also addressed concerns that there has been a decline in number of students registering for classes at tertiary education facilities, especially the University of the West Indies, due to the changes in GATE.
Registration for the universities, particularly the University of the West Indies and the University of the Southern Caribbean and the University of Trinidad and Tobago, that depends largely on the results of CAPE. We have not yet received the results of CAPE from CXC, and only when that is done, when those results have been received, then those students who are qualified will submit the application.
The minister said it's premature to make statements before CAPE results are out. Rishi Harinanan, CNews.
Now for the weather. A few afternoon thunder showers are likely in a few areas, and some showers will become heavy at times, mainly near the windwards. The late evening and night are expected to be settled, but lingering light to moderate showery interruptions are likely. Gusty winds, street and flash flooding may accompany heavy showers and thunder showers. The chairman of the Clico policyholders group, Peter Permel, has stressed the liquidator appointed by the state is only allowed to preserve the assets of CL Financial and not any of its subsidiaries. And if it does otherwise, the body will be looking to take action.
We are monitoring the situation very closely to see if there's any fallout, let's put it that way, or any unintended consequences that can flow from that decision. Because I should also point out that today is going to be the hearing of the substantive matter, which is the petition before the court to wind up CL Financial. More than likely, that is not going to be concluded today.
Mr. Permel further explained what the liquidator is expected to do.
They don't function as a full-fledged liquidator whose responsibility is to actually dispose of assets, sell assets. Their responsibility is really to just be in a holding position to preserve the assets, to assess what, take hold of all the assets so they will know exactly what assets they had at that point in time and to preserve them.
On Tuesday, government was given the green light to appoint the provisional liquidators to preserve the assets for CL Financial. This after a ruling from the Court of Appeal. Government is seeking to recover a $15 billion debt left from the 2009 bailout of the conglomerate's insurance subsidiaries. The matter was heard by appeal court judges Peter Rajkumar, Andre Devines and Charmaine Pemberton. The judges noted the company is losing money every day and that the longer the company continues, the more the assets depreciate. Both sides represented had expressed plans to head to the Privy Council if the court did not rule in its favor. Further news now, the Ministry of Housing has a new website. It's www.housing.gov.tt, and it took effect today. The minister said this new website offers a modern, uncluttered and minimalist design which will allow for repeat visits, increase traffic, and provide a greater opportunity to inform, educate, and interact with the users. In his welcome to website visitors, Housing and Urban Development Minister Randall Mitchell said it's the ministry's intention to use this platform as a medium to provide the public with as much information as possible of the policies, programs, and initiatives of the ministry and its agencies and how they benefit the citizens. While nothing has been done to honor the legacy of former Prime Minister and President of Trinidad and Tobago, the late Arthur Napoleon Rayburn Robinson, particularly as it relates to the 1990 attempted coup. Well, this is the view of a former hostage of the coup, Wendell Eversley, who staged his one-man protest outside the Chief Secretary's office on Tuesday morning. Patricia Nicholson has the details.
Mr. Eversley made another plea for the state to do more in commemoration of the 1990 attempted coup, which took place when the late A.N.R. Robinson was Prime Minister.
A report was laid in Parliament by then Prime Minister who's now the opposition leader. The opposition leader then was Keith Rowley, who's now the Prime Minister. And the report, when she laid, she said that every chapter of the recommendation will be honored.
But that was never done. Mr. Eversley is again calling for the government to adopt and implement the recommendations of both volumes of the report of the Commission of Inquiry into the 1990 attempted coup. Following his 2-hour protest, he proceeded into the office of the Chief Secretary to deliver a letter. At around 2 p.m., he visited A.N.R. Robinson's grave at Bacalet, where he laid a wreath.
Did that. Instead of I laying a wreath, the nation laying a wreath. Because our institutions are falling apart.
He said in his 27 years of doing this and writing letters to the former Chief Secretary, Mr. Orville London, he has never gotten a response from him. He hopes Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles would respond this time. The anniversary of the 1990 attempted coup is on Thursday. I'm Patricia Nicholson for C News.
Well, tomorrow, July 27th, is the 27th anniversary since the 1990 coup took place. It was on that day more than 100 members of the Jamaat al-Muslimin stormed Parliament and the Trinidad and Tobago television. Everyone inside Parliament, including the Prime Minister, was held hostage for several days as violence and looting erupted in Port of Spain. This forced a state of emergency to be imposed on July 28th. At least 24 people died, including an MP, Leo Devines, and many more were injured. From August 30th to September 3rd, some of the world's best cyclists will grace the National Cycling Velodrome as they compete in the elite Pan American Senior Championships. This country will be represented by a full contingent, and the Cycling Federation believes this is the best to have come to these shores for some time. And in preparation for this, the national championships are timed for just prior to this to ensure the best and fittest local cyclists are available to face the influx of foreign talent. Some of the top officials will also be here to witness proceedings.
Come August, September, we have some of the leaders in the cycling world. We have coming to the event the UCI president, Mr. Brian Cookson. He will be here. We have the European president, Mr. David Lapatier. We have the COPACI president, Jose Manuel Pelez. And we have the Caribbean Cycling Federation president, Mr. Saylor, Trevor Saylor.
Well, more good news for the Trinidad and Tobago men's national football team as they received an unexpected addition to the squad for the second day in a row as they prepare to face Ecuador in Guayaquil tonight from 8:30 our time. Coach Dennis Lawrence will now have 20 players to choose from after Mexican-based winger Jamal Williams obtained his Mexican work visa and was released by his club to join the national team late on Tuesday. Lawrence's men had one session at the match venue on Tuesday night as they prepare for a real acid test against a team that has qualified for the World Cup 3 times previously and are in a dogfight to make it 4 in Russia next year. Lawrence is expecting his troops to go into the clash with a positive mindset.
It's an honor to represent the national team, you know. I overjoyed my family, man. I'm going and put my best foot forward and try to do my best. Good things ahead. Good things ahead.
And maybe small, but I'm very proud of it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how we end our CNews report at noon. I'm Karen Kozier-Phillip. Remember, for up-to-date and breaking news throughout the day, you can visit the CNews website at ctvtt.com. Do have a good afternoon.